I supposed to explain to my 3-year-old that her dad...
I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. There's no doubt about it, I'll sing and I'll shout it, 'cause I don't care.
Somebody to tell me they're lying right now because what the do you mean that I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits? What the do you mean?
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward.
Beyond betrayed. They used us during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party. They actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want. If we have federal cuts, then that's going to mean bigger classroom sizes. I would lose teachers, first and foremost. It's devastating.
What happens when political promises collide with the economic reality? You know, for years, millions of Americans believed that tough immigration policies, sweeping tariffs, and even major government spending cuts will quickly maybe strengthen the economy. They will create jobs, they will lower the cost of ordinary families. But as the economic challenges continue to affect communities across the country of America, many Americans themselves, regardless of race or even political affiliation, are now finding themselves asking some difficult questions. So today, I want us to look as to why some communities that strongly supported these policies are now expressing their concerns about labor shortages, about rising prices, about economic uncertainty, and also explore why many commentators are arguing that American futures depend on greater cooperation across racial and political lines rather than continued division. So stay with me up to the end, because the final lessons may surprise you. And of course, if you are watching this video for the first time, subscribe, like the video, and share for more.
If they cut our Medicaid, we would lose every hospital in our rural area, and then none of us would have health care. Not just the people on Medicaid, the people who have private insurance and Medicare. I'm a pharmacist. We took an oath to take care of people. We didn't say, no, only the rich ones.
In states that don't have right-to-work laws, the average pay is over $8,000 higher. The main thing that would help coal miners is to pass that PRO Act and repeal the right-to-work to where they could have a union, and that would solve all their problems.
So you were telling me that people are unaware, they're unaware that the whole reason why hospitals are not allowed to turn you away in an emergency situation, regardless of your ability to pay, is because of the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which states that hospitals who receive Medicare funding are not allowed to turn you away. And they are proposing to cut back on Medicare and Medicaid. Talk to a caseworker. There are no ineligible people who are receiving it. The only people who are receiving it are eligible because there is a vetting process. All these people that they say are illegally getting it, it's not happening. The point is to start the process to get rid of it entirely. And if we get rid of the only guaranteed payment for medical care in this country, and we leave it all to our pockets with no support, guess what's going to happen to you? You are going to lose out on care because hospitals are going to close who depend on that funding. We don't have enough money to pay the bills that they decided were fair, which I'm sorry, I just had a life-saving surgery and I owe $3,000. If I don't pay $55 fucking dollars that I don't have to my primary care physician, they can decide to no longer treat me, and they will. And I've got to start all over again somewhere else. You all think that you're safe because, oh, It's been that way because we fought to get it that way. And they're reversing it. You all have been so fucking pampered that you don't understand what we had to fight for to get you. Oh, but POP, everyone dies. Bitch, apparently not fucking politicians.
It's kind of crazy watching all these MAGA supporters right now, because the same people who were cheering the rallies, waving their flags and saying Trump 2024 save America, are now the same ones crying online because the Medicaid and Medicare got caught. Like, people literally want them. Folks were out there saying, hey, if Trump gets back in, you all better watch your healthcare. But they didn't want to hear it. They called it fake news, said it was all liberalized. Now look, they out here, mad and saying they can't afford their prescriptions or doctor's visits anymore. You know what's funny? These are the same people who used to post stuff like, I don't want my tax dollars paying for lazy people's health care. But now that the courts hit them, suddenly it isn't fair. And
you know what, President Trump? This is for you, man. Look, I know you've got a lot on your plate. I know you have a lot to do and a lot to keep this country safe, and I appreciate that. But you made us a campaign promise. And I remember you said it at every stop. I'm going to fix the economy and get prices more affordable. You ain't done none of that. Not even a little bit. Stores are price gouging us on tariffs. Stuff that they're putting on tariffs on. And guess what? They're made here in America. You call it, like your agencies call it out, but nothing gets done. The stores aren't made to put the prices back. They're not made to fix anything. No, instead, what are they doing? Still charge us the same prices. In fact, they're raising prices even higher. And your administration is doing nothing to help that. Nothing. Not a thing. You have done absolutely nothing to help that. And I'm sorry, but, like, we're struggling. Like, you're erasing the middle class. You said, oh, the left, they're all about erasing the middle class. No, you are too, because you're doing the same exact thing. You're not doing anything to help us. I know you got a lot on your plate, but, man, just take a day or 2 days and do something to turn around the economy in this country. People are struggling. People are losing their homes because they can't afford. They have to choose between making a car payment or putting food on their table. People are having to choose between paying their credit cards down or putting food on the table. Or they're having to max out their credit cards to pay bills because everything is so daggum expensive. Gas should be going down. We're drilling in America. Why is gas still over $2.89 a gallon? Why is things so damn expensive under you this time, but last time is so much cheaper? I know the Biden administration screwed up the economy and made inflation just skyrocket. But there are things that you can do to fix it, and you need to do it.
a lot of MAGA voters have been crying out saying this isn't what we voted for. And honestly, is why to watch. These are the same folks who were rocking those red hats, screaming "Make America Great Again," and swearing Trump was the man who will fix the economy, bring back jobs, and make life easier. Now they are realizing their dream they were sold isn't matching the reality they are living. Back in 2016, and again after, Trump came in promising to drain the swamp, protect the working class, and make America rich again. A lot of people, especially small business owners, factory workers, and middle-class folks really believe that. They thought he was gonna, fight for them, lower cost, and put America first. Fast forward to now, and those same people are watching their grocery bills skyrocket, rent shoot up, and their town struggling. And suddenly, that red hat pride turned into regret. Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I'm going to let some of the clips I gathered for you guys roll. Then I'll come back with the commentary. Please do well to like and subscribe. Credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
So y'all, I live in Florida and I voted for Trump, and like honestly I never even thought about it. Like everybody I know voted for Trump, and like I never thought about it, but I saw an interview with that astronaut on Fox News today, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Had we just elected the black lady with the silk press, had we just elected Big Sister General, had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, had we just elected Madam the wheels on the bus go round and round, we would not be at war with Iran right now. And I know what some of y'all are thinking, Joshua, why are you screaming? Joshua, how many times you gonna say this? I'm gonna keep saying it until it finally clicks. Because folks, this was an open book test. Not only was this an open book test, the professor was at the board giving the answers and we failed. And now we have 4 dead Americans as a result. We have F-15 fighter jets being shot out of the sky by friendly fire. Had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, folks would have money to purchase their first home. The American people would have quality health care. We would not be at war with Iran, spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money that has not been approved by Congress to fund this war. So I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep screaming it until the American people finally understand, if you could have just set your racism and your sexism aside and voted for Kamala Harris, we would be in a better position today.
When oil prices go up, so does food and almost everything else that is shipped on a truck. Oil prices will be determined starting on Sunday night, and oil and gas prices will go up. It will also affect your utilities. So the cost of goods, the cost of living is about to go up even further. If you didn't know, inflation was at 3%. Yeah, it was at 3%. It went up again. We lost over 1.2 million jobs in 2025. We lost 600,000 jobs in January. So rising fuel prices and food prices again, when there are almost 9 million Americans out of work, when 60% of companies plan on laying off in the USA, is going to be catastrophic. And don't forget, we have cut all social programs to help with higher cost and people who have lost their jobs. But you're still paying the same taxes. Well, where is that money going? Well, Republicans are in power, everyone. Of course, it's going to war. It's going to law enforcement. I hope that your mortgage company and the grocery store will be okay with you not being able to pay your bills. 10 out of 11 of the last recessions have been under Republican presidents. And by the way, this attack will cost us billions of dollars, billions, and cost of lives. Not mine. My family's already served. So, I don't know. Enjoy those higher prices starting on Monday.
For years, many MAGA voters were critical of foreign entanglement. They used slogans like America First to express a belief that the U.S. should stay out of wars, avoid nation building, and focus on domestic issues. They protested.
Welcome back to yet another episode of FAFO for Trump voters. Now, this is Dave Portnoy. He is a super MAGA conservative propagandist that happens to own Barstool Sports. And he's a little bit down after getting exactly what he voted for. Let's watch.
Trump has put his tariffs all over the place, get some wacky formula and do tariffs. And everything's in the shitter because of it. I'm down $7 million. I went super viral when I said I lost $7 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof. But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in. Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me. I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes. Am I in this to make money? Yes. Do I wish I had that money back in my investment portfolio? Yes.
I mean, dude, yeah, you sound very woe is me. Because you're the one that brought it up. Oh, wait, wasn't this you recently?
Every once in a while, I get so fed up with politics, I got to do a rant and just let steam off. I try not to, but I've hit the boiling point. And it's the gaslighting that the left is doing with Kamala Harris, making it sound like she's some great, groundbreaking candidate. She is the worst candidate to ever run for president ever. There's 2 people voting in this election. Either you're voting for Donald Trump, you like Donald Trump, or you hate Donald Trump and you're voting against him. Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign, and their pure arrogance and their moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're a Nazi, you're Hitler, you're garbage. Enough. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's racists in the party, just like there's crazy people and assholes and racists in the Democratic Party, all right?
And dude, you might want to look in the mirror on that one, sweetie, because this is something that someone in your personal circle said. In 2015, Portnoy said he was planning to vote for Trump, writing in a blog post, quote, "I don't care if he's a joke. I don't care if he's a racist. I don't care if he's sexist. I don't care about any of it. I hope that he stays in the race, and I hope that he wins. Why? Because I like the fact that he's making these politicians squirm." Don't look in a mirror, dude, because you might not like what you see. But I do. And many users rightfully clocked him in these videos in the comments section. I mean, they ate and left no crumbs. You get what you voted for. Wrong, brother. You were liberated from $7 million. You're the one that backed him. You said he's a businessman. He'll be great. Kamala literally told you all of this would happen. Republicans destroy the economy every time they're in office, and the Democrats inherit a mess and then have to clean it up. And the cycle goes over and over again. Dude bankrupted a casino. Did you know that? He is definitely crying. Ego is super thin. If losing $20 million doesn't make you regret not voting for Kamala Harris, then he needs to lose more. Make him lose 50. And this is my favorite. Racism runs so deep that he would rather vote for an incompetent liar than vote for a black female attorney. Unbelievable. Oh, but y'all, it gets better.
I don't get the left gloating. Be like, it's so great to see Dave lose money. He deserves it. He's so stupid. You voted for this. You're so stupid. Hey, you think if I'm losing money or if the stock market's tanking, you think that only affects rich people? We're probably affected the least. Like, yeah, I'm losing 20 million. I'm still got plenty of money. But it all shakes down.
Yeah, dude, we're all wrapped up in it. But it was people like you that got us into this situation. Bless his heart, dude is so wrapped up in his own narcissistic realm that he can't see the forest for the trees. So when you take to social media to complain about you losing 10 to 15% of your wealth, which is like $20 million, good grief, we're going to call it out. We're going to highlight the hypocrisy and the audacity that comes with this FAFO season. But dude might have finally turned a page.
The midterm elections are like a year and a half away, I think. There's going to be a blue wave. Like, if the stock market is like what it is right now, and it's becoming close to the midterm elections, we will have like 100% Democrats. 100%. Because that's how people vote. And I would too. In a year and a half. I'm not in the panicking party yet. But if this tariff thing just is a total disaster, and we're a year and a half away from this thing, and stock market hasn't rebounded, and this trade war is a debacle, and inflation, everything's going to be in the shitter because of it, because of the tariffs. If that's the case in a year and a half, it's all Democrat.
Now, there are 3 parts of his behavior that I want to point out, and relates to this comment that I saw on here. This is the mindset that causes many fathers to financially ruin their families. They would rather keep their pride than admit that they made a bad financial decision.
Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me, I wish I voted for Kamala? No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes.
It's mind-boggling to me that this guy would rather lose 10 to 15% of his wealth, which is like $20 million, by the way, and double down on his stubbornness and pride rather than accept that he might have been misguided and actually change your mind or reconsider your vote. It's like he would rather lose money than lose his pride and stubbornness, which is a very cowardly thing to do and actually very unmasculine. It takes a lot of guts to admit when you're wrong, and I would have had way more respect for him if he were just come out and say that. Now, to give him credit, he is slightly kind of on that journey, so I will give him some credit for that. Number 2, when you are the one that is actively endorsing, aiding, and abetting someone like Donald Trump, it is really, really hypocritical when you decide to clutch your pearls and be like, I'm being negatively affected by him and his actions, when you were the one that instigated and brought it all about. You platforming him, you endorsing him, which gets to 3. When people call you out on that hypocrisy, you can't be like, oh, the left is gloating at me. We are attempting to make you think critically about your hypocritical actions. You can't double down on your cognitive dissonance when all of a sudden you start to face this information. You got to at least look it right in the eye and confront it. So in conclusion, am I sad he's lost a whole bunch of money? No. Do I empathize for him that he is struggling with this kind of stuff? Sure, I'm a human. But also, in order to move forward and progress, you have to take accountability and atone for your actions and how you contributed to this current situation. I'm not going to give you my left kidney when you are the one that partially led us into this predicament.
Now, I may not be a customer service representative from Trump Mobile, but I do have an update for you. Except it's not about your phone. The update was to the terms and conditions that were updated on the Trump Mobile website. The $100 pre-order deposits that consumers like you sent to the company are now referred to as a conditional opportunity if Trump Mobile later elects, in its sole discretion, to offer the device for sale. The irony in all of this is it was marketed to you guys as a smartphone, but apparently only stupid people bought it. I mean, what do you expect from a company whose slogans were Trump Mobile? Can you hear the grift now? Trump Mobile, the official carrier of Trust Me Bro. And Trump Mobile, now with 100% more content.
It's so funny to watch all of the MAGA personalities online either crying or just remaining silent over the beef between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Like, for example, Charlie Kirk has been silent over it. His last tweet was saying there's going to be a lot of fighting in the next couple of days, but that he's incredibly grateful for Elon Musk, but no word on the beef between Trump and Musk. Gunther Eagleman, one of the worst MAGA supporters out there, just put out a statement saying, "What's happening? He can't fathom that his two idols are going at it." Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro is just pretending like it's not happening. His last tweet was about the show today where he has a major announcement talking about Republicans, Democrats, asylum, yada, yada, yada. He's not talking about it. So all of these different MAGA personalities who seem like they have an opinion on absolutely everything are now suddenly quiet. They don't want to chime in here. I gotta be honest, I'm really enjoying watching the MAGA civil war take place right before our very eyes, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down. As a reminder, I post on YouTube, Instagram, Substack, and more. The link. Watch this MAGA fan get kicked out of a St. Louis City soccer game last night for wearing a Trump hat on the premises, and he has a total meltdown on camera. Just take a look.
Michael Weitzel, I'm being asked to leave by the police because of Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm a Donald Trump fan.
You're a Trump fan?
Yes, I am.
So I just want
all these coppers you got to deal with them, Megan. But they're not good at police. They don't want any kind of political.
So those flags over there.
Those are pre-approved.
Those flags over there, those aren't breaking. So my question to you guys is, are these rules equally enforced on everybody?
Here's my question to you.
And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you. Handcuffs, so I'm being threatened with arrest. Why am I breaking? What am I? Well, we ask you to leave and you stay. You're asking me to leave? Yeah. Am I being evicted from the premises?
You're going to be evicted from the premises. You want to take a big...
We're going to walk up. I'm being evicted from the premises because of Donald Trump. Because we can't wear Donald Trump hats in public. And so now I'm being evicted from the...
Yeah, this is a grown-ass man having a temper tantrum like that. The MLS has a rule that no political signs can be shown at any game, whether it's a liberal hat, a Republican hat. You can't wear it on the premises. If you do, you'll be asked to leave. And the flags that he was pointing at are not political signs. They had the team's logo on it. Like, buddy, you're not a victim. This is a private premises. They can ask you to leave if you're wearing a hat and they have this rule. I just can't imagine being a grown man like this guy and having this temper tantrum in public and thinking that you came...
Now, my people, during campaign period, supporters were promised, the MAGA supporters were promised stronger economy. They are promised jobs, they are promised safe communities, and revival of domestic manufacturing. They are promised a return of prosperity. And for many MAGA voters, these promises represented hopes after years of economic uncertainty, because they believed dramatic policy changes will produce dramatic results. But government is often more complicated than people think. You must all understand that economic systems are so interconnected, and changes in immigration enforcement can affect industries that rely heavily on seasonal labor. Tariffs can encourage domestic production while also increasing cost for the business that depends on imported materials. Federal spending reductions may lower government expenditures, but also affect communities that rely heavily on public programs. Now, many supporters of MAGA and critics disagree about the long-term effects of these policies. But many economists note that trade-offs are common and outcomes can vary by industry and by region. Because across America, some farmers have reported labor shortages. Some manufacturers have faced higher input costs. Small business owners have also spoken about tighter profit margins that they experience. Consumers continue to pay close attention to food prices, housing costs, and even everyday expenses. These challenges have affected Americans of every race and even political backgrounds. And as many communities search for solutions, many voices are now calling for something that often been missing from the political debates. They are calling for cooperation. And Black Americans have long played a vital role in building the nation's economy as entrepreneurs, as educators, healthcare workers, military members, engineers, public servants, and even business leaders. And many people argue that country will only benefit when every community has equal opportunities. And rather than focusing on division, they contend that strengthening the economy requires drawings on the talents of all Americans, of all sides and all races. Now, history shows that economic challenges rarely affect only one group. When farms struggle, food prices can rise. When businesses face higher costs, consumers often feel that impact. When communities are divided in a country, solving some shared problems become more difficult. So the debate over policies will still continue, but many Americans agree on one point, that the country's biggest challenges are easier to address through practical solutions, skilled workers, and even cooperation than through political slogans alone, like Make America Great. America has faced some difficult challenges before and has often emerged stronger by adapting to changing circumstances. So whether discussing immigration, trade, employment, or economic policy, the central question remains the same. That conversation belongs to every American to discuss. And guys, if you enjoyed this analysis, please, I request that you share your perspectives respectfully in the comment sections. What policies do you believe will best strengthen Americans' economy while bringing people together?